Okay, while competing, players must read and react to situations during the game and how players they learn. Like this, what technique, um, what learning technique can you share with us? Um,
Yeah, I think it's twofold. I think as a coach, you've got to put them in situations where they're forced to read and react, and whether that's small games, whether that's odd man situations. At times I've done it where it's one guy versus two, and just keep going and don't quit. I want to see given a player that given the situation, he knows he's at the disadvantage, but is he going to compete anyway? And yeah, one against two, it's going to be really hard to make a play. But does he compete for it? Does he continue to try at it? So I think it's putting guys in a position to where they have to make read and react situations.
yeah,
But it's also got to be on the player to to have a willingness to want to fail again. I think it comes down to a little bit of that where I get it a lot as a coach these days that players always want to be told what to do. And, again, the game that we play, it's not chess. It's not, you move here and then someone moves there. It's a fluid game thing. Every stride, the picture changes. So, I think there's got to be a willingness on players' part to at times fail. And, again, it's a lot of situations are read and react. You can ask me about it after, but okay, if this situation happens again, what can I potentially do versus, they always want to be told what to do in that exact time. And they expect that it's going to be the same answer every time. And often it's not. So, there's always going to be, hey, here are two or three, as a coach, go, well, here are two possibilities, two or three possibilities of what you can do.
yeah,
But from there, it's going to be a read and react on your part. Sometimes you'll get it right, sometimes you won't. But that's what makes the game fun. It's a game of mistakes. So if everybody was perfect and positionally and never, it'd be pretty boring to watch. So
yeah.
I think it's definitely twofold. It's the coach putting players in those type of situations, and it's a player not always wanting to be told where to go and what to do and when to do it. Right? It's understanding that you're going to make some mistakes sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's also too like how the player embraces that challenge. Like you were saying, one versus two. You know, you'll see some amazing athlete and player be able to come out with the puck one
Yep.
versus two, and you're like, holy smokes, that guy's got something different and special. And that's what these coaches, GM, scouts are looking for. That kid wearing the yellow jersey out there, like, whoa, that guy's way different than everyone else. And did you see that one thing out of the whole game? Hopefully, that can be consistent,
Mm-hmm.
becomes consistent with those actions and doing that mindset. But I think, as you mentioned before, too, I think talking about players being curious and interested in how to learn and about read and react and about different situations of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I think it comes down to when they're younger and not always being told what to do. You know, I had a privilege of my college head coach got to be very friendly with Bobby Orr, and they were talking about this. And, Bobby Orr referenced, when we were kids out on the pond, kids didn't sit out on the sideline. So, if you had 20 kids out there, you played 10 on 10. It wasn't, okay, 5 on 5, you guys go sit and wait your turn. He goes, you just played with those kind of numbers, but you still only had one puck. So you kind of had to learn how to be creative and how to just, and you do that by playing other sports as well. So, I think all of those things come into that ability as a player to embrace that kind of mindset of just, it's learning, and you're going to make some mistakes along the way, but part of that's got to be on you. Part of that's got to be on the coach putting you in those situations. Cause I can't, it's a player's game. When the game is going on as a coach, I don't have the earpiece in saying, go left, slow down, speed up.
Right.
Right. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's a good point for sure. And I talk about with the players that I do one on one with, or even small groups, right? Like Yeah, I would love to motivate them and push them, you know, speed, 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 skate, move your feet. But at the end of the day, as we get going and continue to, and I guess we'll say work with each other, that I can't always be pushing like that because it's got to come within at some point and some level of maturity, because it's all on them to figure that part out, right?
Right.
I would love to give them that push and that guidance, as like I did with, with other people, my parents, coaches, family, that type of thing. But it comes
Yeah.
down to them.
Yeah, like my mom was a teacher for almost 50 years, and I remember her and others have said, I think you always, as a successful teacher, coach, which is ultimately what we do, is you want to put that goal kind of just out of reach, and you can kind of get them most of the way, right? But at some point, you have to take over and want to go the fight, and close it out and actually go 100% of the way.
You're
Two
instilling
or
many
two
different
less.
things in the player, whether it's skills, it's
Mm.
motivation, all
Yep.
that habits, all that stuff. And then they have to kind of take it from there at some point, because in the game, you're not whispering in their ear, uh,
Right.
like you said, left or right.